All right, this is Pops and something quite different than I've done before. This is a close-up look and retrospective, and if you see the screen, folks, you'll know what we're going to talk about. Yeah, a 1983 miniseries called V. And what you're looking at are some of the trading cards. Now, I'm going to admit, I don't own these. I was I was tasked with selling these for a friend. They had a loss. Oh, see what happens? I bumped the camera already. See, this is new for me. I'm trying. Bear with me, folks. What happens when you let an OG like me start playing with technology? No, I was tasked with they had a death family friend of the family, death in their family. That individual owned a comic book card area at like a flea market, and offered to try to help them recoup some funds by selling some of their stuff. This is a 1984 trading card set centered around V. And if you were not alive or you've never heard of it, no, it doesn't necessarily hold up well. But if you talk to someone who was around my age, this was a huge deal. So I want to go through some of the trading cards. We can talk about V. Maybe you can put some comments that you have in there for you. So you know what your thoughts are, what you remember about V. So anyway, so V is a story about a race of aliens. They arrive at Earth. They have these mother ships. They're of course kind of like Independence Day, where they're all over the major cities. They reveal themselves at the United Nations. They're in New York, and they're basically saying they need the humans to help with obtaining, like, I think chemicals, some different things like that. And their planet, I think, was around a different star. So the visitors promise to share their technology with us, and that's how it works. So they have different leaders. We'll talk about some of the different cards and go through some of the things there. And it centers around a TV journalist. That's this guy right here, Michael Donovan, played by Mark Singer. And if you're not from that area, you probably have no idea who Mark Singer is, but that's him. So let's go through some of the cards. We'll talk about the show. The cards are not worth a ton, but there is an error in the set that's worth noting in case you're trying to put a set together or you don't understand. Uh, First thing I'd say about cards in this era is they're very hard to find. These are incredibly good condition. So you'll see, note how crisp the corners are. That's the biggest thing you'll find. And then notice how difficult it would be to find one that is considered perfect. Because what you can do is you can send your cards in, have them professionally graded. PSA is the main company that does that, and they'll grade it. And one of the tricks to finding a good one or a perfect one to get a PSA 10, a perfect score, would be this centering. See how the width of the black is greater than the width of the black on this side? It's showing that it's off centered. Now, it's not off centered a ton, but it's enough that it wouldn't be a 10. It might be a 9. I'm not an expert. We can measure and get a better idea. I feel pretty comfortable about that. In that regard, if you look a little closer on this one, you'll see a little better centering here, but obviously it's offset a little bit from top to bottom right there. So cards color is good. I know that the camera doesn't do it justice. They're very pretty. There's no issues with that. So let me show you. I was mentioning the story. The cards, most of the cards during the 80s, 70s, and 80s, and even into the 90s, if you have a movie themed trading card set, they tend to follow the story. So trading cards one would be about different characters, and they go through, let's say, 10 characters or so. They'll introduce the character cards, and then you'll basically follow the story through the TV show or the movie or whatever. The V cards don't do that at all. They're bounced all over the place. So this is actually a picture of what they call a Sky Fighter, and this is what that looks like. This is actually the first card in the set, so it's kind of strange that this is the first card, and then of course it's jumping right into the middle of the story, where card number 2 is about a roadblock when they're already kind of like taking seize of the planet. And and the plot of the show is pretty simple, right? The aliens are not benevolent. The aliens are actually these things. They need food, and it's revealed through the sequence of events in the story. So it was a huge miniseries, two-parter, and I was about, let's see, 83. So I'm 12 or 13. I turned 13 in 83. Cards come out in 84. I don't remember actually owning any of these, but some of these cards are really kind of cool. And it really took me back. And I thought, well, maybe I need to spend some time doing a video like this. And maybe you don't like this kind of video. It's not your thing. They had a massive cast, incredible cast, massive cast of different characters and that kind of thing. So, yeah. So that's that. You know, let's go through and find a couple more here of things that you'll be interested in. There's some that are just, you know, this is their idea of a card is fiery lizard. Like we're just gonna set somebody on fire. It makes no sense why we would do a card that, I mean, okay, that's fine. I mean, it's not even about the quality of the card. It's the choice of content that seems a little strange. Here's another one that was kind of weird. It's like, yeah, an exploding truck card. Like that's, yeah, you wonder why they're not necessarily worth a lot of money. It's just they're not a set that evokes a lot of sort of interesting things for people to collect. Yeah, here's a, what am I looking at? It's like it's upside down. It just doesn't even, all right, whatever. So this is some of the different things they're trying to do. Close-up of, here's another one of their ship. Another one that's just an explosion. See what I'm saying about the color? So these are very bright, vibrant colors. I know the camera doesn't necessarily do it justice. These are in great condition in that regard. That's not it. So these cards have already sold. So that's another reason why I wanted to do the video clip, because I won't have these cards much longer. Pictures, and look at the practical effects. We've gotten away from all this kind of stuff if it's done today. I know there was another TV mini series of V. I've never watched it. So the other co-star of the show, who is one of the visitors, this is Diana right here. We'll see. You saw her on the other card, but here's another shot of her. She is actually played by a lady named Jane Badler. I don't remember much about Jane Badler, but there she is. So that's her card. Let's see here. Here's one of the ships flying. You can see the way that the special effects were done, just, you know, old school green screen. They're got like cutouts that are flying. And then, of course, here's our hero, Mark Singer's Mike Donovan. And he was a big deal when this came out. This launched him into actually, like, you know, might have a career kind of thing. And there's a surprise character coming up for you. I have a surprise for you. Here's another one of the aliens being unmasked. See the practical effects where they had just the costume over. It was really, and again, when you're a teenager. So this is the picture of Diana and a character called Lydia. She was also in the show as a visitor. There you go. And then this is our Resistance. This is Julie, Faye Grant. Right. This is our hero, and here's our other protagonist, Mike Donovan. And you can see a nice card, but again, off center just a little bit. Not bad. Hers is actually very good. This is actually very, oh no, there's a top bottom. There's a top bottom. I spoke a little ahead of myself on that one. Then you have, so their character cards start showing up almost kind of in the middle of their set. So now we're on card like 20. That's card 23. It's almost like a character card. I'm going to hold this one aside. I have a surprise for you. And I know this is great. I love this one because Robin Maxwell is the character, as you can see. But Robin Maxwell, despite the fact that she looks like Molly Ringwald, is not. Her name is Blair Tefkin. And I think this is it for her. I don't know what else she did. I don't know anything about her. So anyway, yeah, there you go. Another shot here. You can see, and if you're not from this area, you're like, oh my gosh, this stuff is so cheesy and whatever. And I really am not going to try to argue with you. I think there's something to be said about, I've called it my Nexus era, things that happened or came out when we were young. And this was one of those things for us. So there are a ton of characters and different little storylines that pop up. They actually juggle quite a lot of stuff in the story. And it's kind of like soap opera kind of drama. But, again, for the time, this was actually kind of a big deal. And the cards are kind of cheesy with how they handle it, right? So here's another shot. Good and evil. The good and the evil. Now I wanted to also show, if you can see it. See how there's a little bit of white right there? It's not really horrible, but you don't see that on most of the other cards. So here's another shot of Lydia. Right? So there's that. The cards have a ton of just like generic ships, character shots, different things like that. Like here's some. Look at this. This is how, again, there's a lot of filler cards that are not of a lot of interest. Takes you back, and not really in any order to how the show goes. Here's this one where, we don't want to hit our hero. We want it to be close. So I teased a character. I don't know if anybody watched this or not. Do you remember V? Maybe you do. You probably will remember the character when you see him, but you're going to be pretty shocked, I think. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. Look at Willie. Willie plays the nerdy alien that the humans start to get to know and trust. He's very meek and soft. And later, that guy, yes, that guy, you're going to see it. He plays Freddie Kreuger. Yep, that's him. That's Robert Englund. That card probably is the best card in the set, in the sense of, being an early card for that actor. Obviously his career is, bigger and grander than pretty much most of the rest of the cast. And Robert Englund is a huge star. So I want to go back to this card. It's number 38 on the back of the card. But I also want to point out that so is this card. So if you ever are interested in a set like this, there are two. Let's show you. Sorry, I got to flip them over. So, okay, here you go. Pick them up. There you go. So here's your two cards. They are both number 38, and they both say the same thing. So I did a little research. I don't find a number 28. I don't think I can find one. Maybe there's one out there. I don't see it, but that's how that goes. This was commonplace back then. A lot of typos, a lot of reprints had to be done, those kinds of things. These are the bad guys, right? In their suits, so they're half human. They look like humans to fool us all. And then we dress up. The humans dress up so they can sneak in and discover they eat a mouse. And then there was the big reveal of this and the big reveal of that. And then the pregnancy scene. All right, another big actor. This card shows along much later. Ham Tyler. Michael Ironside, baby. Yeah, that's great. What a great career Michael Ironside's had. He has been in a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, Michael Ironside. That's so great. Let's see. What else? I'm not seeing all of my characters listed that I want to show you. So here's this guy. And this was, look at this. Time to chow down. Right? It's so awesome. So right. I'm looking something up here because I'm not seeing one of the character names. I'm sure I got it right. Yeah. That's him. What are we talking about here? Why are we having a problem showing up to their names? All right. Look at this. Very intense. Very intense. Fighting for humanity. Fighting for humanity. A set like this will run you at least $20, $30. It depends on the quality of the set, how motivated somebody is to get rid of it. eBay is obviously still a great resource to get cards and do that kind of thing. I don't think you'll have a problem finding a set for yourself. They're not necessarily hard to find, but you may have a hard time finding a set. This is a very nice set, and they're very, very good quality. So here's another shot of that alien I showed earlier. This is card 46. So zooming right along through the set. There's only 66 cards. I'll go ahead and go a little bit faster so we can finish up. But as you can see, that here's our character here. They're trying to work through the grand conspiracy of the visitors because, you know, we really couldn't trust them after all. Like, who knew, right? Everybody knew. Like, it was so fun. I was in middle school. Everybody talked about it. It was such a big deal. It's like, did you see? Did you, you know, this is not a Star Wars thing or anything like that, but it definitely had a big following and a big response at the time. Like I said, Mark Singer, he had a big career boost of some kind. Like that was kind of a thing. So the final battle was definitely, a big deal. So let me get the full cast and crew here, see if there's anybody else worth mentioning. Here's this picture of Julie, right? Picture of Julie. Another picture of Mark Singer's Mike Donovan. See, this camera thing keeps moving. It's very frustrating. I'm trying to stay the course on target for you. All right. Let's see. Look at this. What a great. There's nothing. It's a picture of a truck. It's not even a close-up of them on the truck. It's mostly pictures of the truck. Isn't it fun? It's just, there's a certain element of silliness that we have worked through over the years, so things become more interesting. And again, here's another. There are efforts of having makeup on top of makeup on top of makeup to make the aliens come alive. And look at it. Oh, those eyes. And this one says, not bad looking for a lizard. Not bad looking for a lizard. Wonder how that guy feels. He's just the evil. He's the guy on, he's just the guy in the mask. Wonder if there's any famous people in those costumes. I don't recognize any major names on this cast list, but there could be some buried in there. I'll be honest. Not sure I know. I look at this. Look at this guy. Look at that. Isn't he tough? Look at that 80s hair. He's got the jacket. Yeah. Get him, Kyle. Get him. No, I don't see him come up as, who is this guy? Who's Kyle Bates? V. Typing it in to find out who V. Oh, here we go. V Fandom. There's a whole little thing. v.fandom.com. Kyle Bates. There you are, Kyle. You can't hide. Oh, man, the 80. He is a motorbike racer and resistant agent. Professional motorbike racer who drifted through life. He's the only son of Nathan Bates. Kyle and his father hadn't spoken since the first invasion, the time when Kyle was, it's so great. It's so silly. It's so fun. All right, let's see. He is played by Jeff Yager. Jeff Yager. All right. I don't know, Jeff. Jeff, have you done anything else? with your 80s hair. Who is John Galt? He is that guy. He was in Ian Flux. Yeah, he's in Atlas Shrugged. He's a narrator. Oh, okay. Jeffrey Allen. All right, there you go. It's that guy. Maybe you're a fan of that. Oh, bump the camera. Golly, this is not working out well. Sorry, folks, if you're still with me. All right, last couple cards. Mike Donovan. This was their space shot. I like this one. Look at that. Little space shot. A little tiny ship. Little tiny ship. There you go. All right. So maybe you don't like this. I thought it was something to try. Kind of like, I don't know when I'm going to have another set of these guys again. So I thought I would share. Maybe give me your thoughts on V, trading cards, maybe something you want to see or not see. And I'm Pops. So thank you for your time.